Just when you thought the price of Bitcoin was going to dump even lower, the bulls step in and put in a higher low. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Svenson, and today we're going to be discussing, of course, the price of Bitcoin and looking at some on-chain metrics. So, first of all, the price of Bitcoin is maintaining its bullish structure. We just put in a significantly higher low just around that $44,000 level. And now we're testing up above 46,700, which is awesome to see. So we do have, of course, an upward sloping structure, which is nice. But also what I found interesting is that this bounce is coming right after putting in a slightly higher low after that August 11th low, right? And if you're looking at the daily RSI, we do have slightly lower lows, and that is hidden bullish divergence. So this hidden bullish divergence on the daily chart from that August 11th low is playing out right now. So that's nice to see that the bulls are maintaining this momentum. Also, in my previous videos, we discussed if you take your fib extensions from highest high to lowest low, the next major fib target actually coincides with a major previous resistance. So this 48K resistance, which we found the other day right here, that area does line up with this previous pre-breakdown support zone, right? So this pre-breakdown support zone right here is basically where we're finding all of this resistance and all of this chop. If we can get above this range, then I'm going to be looking for the next previous area of support, right? Which is over here, the $51,100 level, which also coincides with the 618 fib extension, that zone right there. So if we can break up above resistance, this previous support from March will likely be the next target, which we discussed this in my previous video. 51,100, just around that range, would be the next major upside target, the 618 fib extension from highest high to lowest low. And from that point, I still think, the fact that Bitcoin's putting in this higher low here makes me think that the bulls are able to maintain this momentum, right? We may see higher highs, though I do expect some sort of sideways action, some sort of consolidation before we actually, go back to 65,000 or, of course, continue this bull market. Maybe after we hit 51, we could go as low as 42, get that sideways range and continue up. I'm also looking for Bitcoin to interact with the 128-day moving average on the next major pullback, right? So we discussed all that in my previous video. Now, a lot of people are saying that the supply shock for Bitcoin may actually make it so that we don't see any significant retrace or consolidation, which I guess is possible. The supply shock ratios actually just got another uptick, guys. Right, so since the beginning of August, we're now hitting higher highs. We have higher lows and higher highs on the illiquid supply shock ratio, which means that strong hands are continuing to accumulate, guys. Strong hands are continuing to buy Bitcoin. And this trend is not changing. It's not changing. Will and Clemente posted the exchange net position change for all exchanges. On Twitter here, we can see that we have one of the most historic drops in exchange inventory for Bitcoin in history. So this is something that's indicative of an uptrend, is that when you see this metric move into the red, usually that means that we are on the, either creating an uptrend or in the middle of an uptrend. So Will and Clemente is saying that 111,000 Bitcoin in the last 30 days down from exchanges, right? So one of the sharpest drops in inventories in Bitcoin history. So this is awesome to see, right? And we also on this channel studied the stablecoin metrics, the buying power for Bitcoin. And a couple months ago, we were talking about how there was so much potential buying power in the market, and now it's becoming realized. Now it's entering the market, and we're seeing one of the biggest upticks in realized buying power, if you will. So that's awesome to see, right? The stablecoins flow ratio is showing that stablecoins are, of course, flowing into the market. You guys can see that as well, right? Taking a look at the 30-day stablecoin flow ratio, just move myself away from the screen here. The reason why we didn't break 30,000 significantly or sustain prices below 30,000 is because since about, what was the date here? June 20th? About that point, we saw that the stablecoins began to get deployed into the market, right? So that's why we were holding that 30,000 level for such a significant amount of time. And that is likely the miners accumulating, guys, right? Because if you're looking at the PUL multiple, going to check on chain.com, if the price of Bitcoin had fallen below that 30,000 level, according to the PUL multiple, then the miners would have not been profitable, right? So you guys always got to check the profitability of miners as well, right? If we had fallen below that 30,000 level, miners would not have been profitable. So miners were actually accumulating. And that's where I think all of this stablecoin activity came from, right? Was the miners, their bags, right? Entering the market. So overall, of course, Bitcoin is kind of just consolidating now. We do have higher lows, of course. We don't have any higher highs yet. So as of right now, it's more of just a consolidation in this range. So if we find a lower high, then we may just go sideways for a few days. Of course, if we break into a higher high, we may hit the 618, the 51,100 level. That's really my upside target before a true sideways range gets formed. But we'll see. Of course, the supply shock could initiate even more bullish price action than I expect, right? But to be safe, there is a little bit of risk at this point. I think we may see some type of local high get put in at higher levels, 51,100. But we will see about that. Also, today the market is roaring, right? Cardano is up 10%. That's really the talk of the town. Cardano is up 10%. And for those of you that are in my Patreon, we got into one of these Cardano projects at a really low price. What was it? 8x, ADAX. Now it's up to 54 cents. I got in at 10 cents. Some of my patrons got in at 20 cents, 25 cents. And now all of these low cap Cardano projects are really starting to move, right? So that may be the next play, is looking at Cardano infrastructure tokens, guys. Maybe that's the next major move here as Cardano implements smart contracts, right? So that's coming up as well. So definitely keep your eye out for that type of a play. So, yeah, guys. Also, Bitcoin dominance is on the decline. We discussed this in my last few videos. We were saying that very likely we would see a major decline in dominance. Altcoins would reclaim some dominance using previous support as resistance, pulling back. That's playing out as well. So things are moving along quite well here in the crypto market, and I really can't complain. I think that this bull market is nowhere near over, right? Nowhere near over. I do expect new all-time highs most likely before the end of the year. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you all in the next video.